Today we're gonna take a look at one of the baddest riffs known to mankind. Here is Mr. Peter Green.
About the shape I'm in, I can't sing, I ain't pretty, and my legs are thin. But don't ask me what I think of you, I might not give the answer that you want me to.
Peter Green and Fleetwood Mac playing a song called Oh Well way back in 1969. Talk about a killer riff, it doesn't get any better than this, right? But there is a difference, of course, between being able to play the notes or having it sound with that vigor and ferociousness that Peter Green is doing. Now that's what we're gonna talk about. First, of course, the basics. Here are the notes. One thing that Peter Green does in order to make it more explosive, instead of just hitting the first string, the first note regularly, he attacks the strings upwards. Bottom strings, open strings. Like that. So instead of... he does it like... slight detail, but it does make it a lot more raunchy. Then he repeats the same little bit, but he ends differently. And that's 50% of the main riff. Then he repeats the first bit exactly. And finally, last time around, again, a slight variation. Notice that crescendo on the last lick. If you don't do anything and it's just plain, then there's no magic. We need to have that. Now, of course, if you can play the basic notes, then the next step is to play it up-tempo like Peter Green. But it is a bit tricky, and if you're gonna play something that's tricky fast, what happens? Well, this tends to happen, doesn't it? The muscles contract and, well, it doesn't sound very good then, does it? It's interesting that when you have tension in the body, in the hand, it goes into the guitar and it sounds like crap. So the key thing is to keep everything relaxed. Now, of course, this is sort of a strange riff where it has a melody, but also a bit of rhythm guitar in it, right? Let's start with that rhythm and let's see if we can play that rhythm with the least amount of effort possible and no tension whatsoever. That's a good place to start because that's doable, and then see if you can sneak that riff in there. All the time focusing on, is everything relaxed? And now you're able to play it a little bit faster. So after the opening riff, Peter Green starts to play something like... while the other guitarist, Danny Kerwin, is playing... And And the key thing, of course, is to see if you can combine those two guitar parts. Now this looks rather easy, right? It's just an index finger on the 12th fret. But in order to make that vibrato on the G string while still hearing the B string, that is sort of difficult, and you're bound to get a bit of blisters, well not blisters, calusters on your fingers, right? Now the key thing to make it work is this little movement here you can see. It's like opening the lock of a door, right? That wrist movement, that's what we're looking for. Something you want to practice separately. And something that Hendrix and Eric Clapton used to do all the time. And once you can do it, you play. Cool riff at the end. Now, of course, the main thing here is the... And you need to see if you can add the open E string and fill in the gaps. Something you don't really think about, you sort of feel it. Then he goes into... Such a beautiful, beautiful lick at the end. So we have this... Very easy to do. And finally... And back to the opening riff. Such a cool song, isn't it? Let's see if we can play it together. Of course, you can find the tabs on my Patreon side. Normal tempo, medium tempo. Here we go.